Hi everyone, this is Tom from Chill Cawfee, and we want to give our customers something to talk about. Communication and communicating the key information about our products goes a real long way. The recent explosion of hemp products have left a lot of consumers leery of new items, and quite frankly, they're confused. So sharing the knowledge that we have in this presentation will help you to help our neighbors to understand our products better. So let's start off with talking a little bit about cannabis. Cannabis has two species, marijuana and hemp. What really determines the difference between both of these species is the percentage of Delta-9 THC in the plant. So if the plant has more than 0.3% Delta-9 THC by dry weight, that product is considered marijuana legally, federally. If the original product has less than 0.3% Delta-9 THC, it is considered hemp. And that was legalized in 2018 as part of the Farm Bill. The 2018 Farm Bill made it legal to grow hemp or cannabis that contains less than that 0.3% Delta-9 THC. And throughout the United States, many companies have now launched and are selling hemp-derived CBD products federally. Many of these products do contain THC. Now let's talk a little bit about the legality in Florida. So marijuana is legal for medicinal purposes here in Florida. And in many states, it's also legal for recreational use, like Colorado, California, even New York recently. In Florida, we only have medicinal cannabis. What this means is that you have to obtain a card from the state, and then you can purchase high Delta-9 THC derived products from marijuana from legal dispensaries and stores throughout the state. Now, if you wanted to buy products without a medical marijuana card, you can purchase those, which are all derived from hemp plants, through stores which have been permitted by the Department of Agriculture. And they're regulated with a food permit, and there's some added on regulations that take effect. So let's talk about where consumers can buy, like I had just mentioned, to buy any CBD or THC derived from hemp. That means there are other forms of THC besides Delta-9. Consumers can obtain those from these stores that are permitted by the Department of Health. The retailers need to get a permit from the state to sell these products, however, and the products have some conditions. They have to be lab tested. There has to be proof that that lab tested has been performed and that it's made available for customers to be able to see. And that's done through a QR code that is on the packaging. Additionally, any intoxicant, you must be 21 years old to purchase. So we must card anyone under 21 or that looks like they may be under 21. And that includes all the vape pens or anything that includes THC, such as Delta-8, Delta-10, even THCV, which is non-psychoactive. These are legal to use and sell, however, there is an age restriction. So, THC is psychoactive. Many people ask, why are we doing this with coffee? Caffeine is also a psychoactive. Over 7 billion people use caffeine without fear. But THC has a stigma out there. We combine that education under one roof. So for people that are not fearful of caffeine, they're able to understand the components of THC a little bit better. So let's break it down. There are three forms that are most popular right now. Delta-8. Delta-8 is legal in most parts of the entire United States. There are some states that have banned it. It's competing with the dispensaries. It really closely resembles indica strains, but like CBD, it can bind with the same receptors in your brain. And what this will do is it's going to provide a very similar experience that you would get from the consumption of Delta 9, which is regulated by the state, remember, and no products with more than 0.3% can be used. So because it does have very similar properties of the Delta 9, consumers can use it for things like helping them to manage their pain or stress. Now, again, we can't make claims, so these products have not been reviewed by the FDA. None of these products. And as retailers, we cannot relay any information that says it may cure or solve any diseases. So most of this is all patient reported. We can, however, relay information that is personal to ourselves. So Delta 8, again, is the great part about it is it's not going to give you that psychoactive experience that cannabis, what they've tried to limit in the dispensaries to, but it will give you the psychoactive experience without the negative side effects that sometimes come along with Delta 9. Many patients report back that Delta 9 may give them anxiety or, feelings of too loopy. So Delta 8 is a great alternative. So let's talk about Delta 9. This is the form that 0.3% or more is legal in your medical marijuana dispensaries, such as Trulieve, Curaleaf. There's more than a dozen in Florida now. We have over 700,000 patients that have gone to see a doctor and received their medical marijuana card and are allowed to shop in those stores. But the Delta 9 is the most common and traditional THC. Some say that it's the most potent psychoactive effect, and that's why the government tried to limit it. It's also one of the easiest for dispensaries to distill. They can take flower and they can make this into, it's one of the easiest to grow. It's one of the easiest of the variants to actually produce in its natural form. It's available in flower. Also, there's concentrates, there's edibles. Now in Florida, the 0.3% by dry weight applies, and a small loophole allows products that are more than that weight. So for instance, a chocolate that weighs more than 5 grams or a CBD gummy that is more than 5 grams can have up to 10 milligrams of Delta 9 in it. So Delta 9 is available in stores like ours, and it is available legally under the federal law. It's also sold nationwide. So Delta 9, even with its limit, is still available in all the hemp permitted stores, not only in Florida, but throughout most of the United States, except for where temporary bans have been put in place. Delta 10. Delta 10 resembles what a sativa cannabis strain would be. These are considered more uplifting. Some people report back that they've felt giggly or a euphoria when they use Delta 10, as well as more mental alertness and focus. In our store, we have a few different brands that we've branded. Most of them are with Delta 8, but we recently launched our Awaken Strain, which is a terpene infused. Now, when you take all of these cannabinoids and you add other ingredients or you combine them together, they have synergistic effects. So caffeine and THC, for instance, or caffeine and CBD, it's going to give you the boost from the caffeine, but the CBD or the cannabis is going to offset those effects and you're not going to get the jitters or the crash. So if that makes sense to you, the same thing happens with some other ingredients, and those ingredients are called terpenes, or they are other cannabinoids. Today we're going to touch on a few other cannabinoids besides the THC ones and the CBD ones that we're all familiar with. The first one we're going to talk about is CBG. We have a few products that have CBG in them. Our 3-to-1 powder that we infuse our beverages with has CBG. Many people refer CBG as the mother of all cannabinoids. Both CBD and THC, they actually start out as CBGA, and through a process, they convert. Now, cannabinoids convert due to temperature, time, sometimes pressure, or other conditions So cannabinoids, very similar to maybe a banana that you may see that changes over time from color and sugar content. The plant or cannabis plant changes as well. So CBG, mother of all cannabinoids, is really available in very young or immature plants in higher concentrations. They found that CBG has worked to, fight inflammation. There's also been a study recently in Oregon. Again, all of this is not FDA approved, so these are not medical claims, but people are reporting back and, making these reports that they have public. So CBG is definitely another cannabinoid when combined with other cannabinoids, works very well together. The other product or cannabinoid that we're going to talk about today is CBN. Our new snooze chews are CBD and CBN. And CBN is actually when THCA oxidizes. That means the same way as other cannabinoids change form to certain things like heat, time, or pressure. CBN is created when THC sometimes is converted in the liver, and then this CBN acts as a sleep aid or sedative. Okay, this is where THC may make some people feel sleepy. It's not actually the THC, it's the other cannabinoid that is converted in the liver or is converted when THC is oxidized. CBN has been known as a sleep aid. Again, no FDA proof of this, so very difficult to be able to share information that would be helpful, but many have found that this is very helpful with everything from sleep aid to pain relief. So that's it for the cannabinoids. Our next section will be on ingestion methods. I hope that this was informative, and that if you have any questions, please refer back to this. We will be going over different products and different ways that you can consume. Thank you again, Tom with Cawfee.